Welcome, everyone, to my surprise review for The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And the reason I'm making this video is because they just recently announced that they are going to make a live-action musical, a live-action Disney film of The Hunchback of Notre Dame with Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz. They are coming back to do maybe a new song or two for the film, adding all those classic songs in there as well. So I felt like this was a great opportunity to talk about The Hunchback of Notre Dame and why it's my favorite animated classic, Disney animated classic. I feel that the subject matter to this film, it's very dark. I mean, there are things for the kids as well, as there has to be, but I mean, Disney had a lot of balls making this movie. There's no question about it. I think that the dark tones and subject matter that's layered throughout this film is so strong, and it's so powerful to watch on screen as you're watching this as an adult, not just as a kid. For the visuals, I feel like the intense dramatic points in the film work extremely well due to a very good, solid screenplay. You see, for me personally, the gargoyles, they work for me. I could get why some people didn't like them. They might be a little too friendly, a little too kid-friendly, a little too silly. But for me personally, I don't think that they really overdo it. I feel like the comedic elements with the gargoyles works for me for the most part. I mean, I didn't love everything with them, but I didn't dislike it either. I think that they totally balance the movie out from when it's dramatic. I feel like this movie it's almost a perfect balance beam, almost, because the first 20 minutes of this film with the bells of Notre Dame and the song, and out there we meet Quasimodo, we meet Frollo, who is my personal favorite Disney villain. He's incredible. I'll talk a little bit more about him later. But the opening 20 minutes to this movie, they're great, and it's so powerful, and I think it's the best opening to any Disney film ever. Maybe even more so than The Lion King. I feel like the way The Lion King opens and The Hunchback opens, they're the best. Both of them. They're the best. With the Circle of Life and the Bells of Notre Dame. The best opening songs to any Disney film, in my opinion. And I loved it. And then we're introduced to Captain Phoebus and Esmeralda. We're going to go to the Festival of Fools, and that's where I feel like the movie sort of, it doesn't dip completely, but when we get to the Festival of Fools and then we go into the cathedral and Esmeralda meets Quasimodo in the cathedral, we have Heaven's Light. Hellfire is probably the highlight of the film for me, that song. I think it's the best Disney villain song. It's so powerful. I think that Frollo, he's such a tormented character in a way. His lust for Esmeralda goes against his vows, but yet he can't hold it back, which is so powerful for a Disney movie, and I think it worked wonderfully. And it wasn't forced down our throats, but it's in there enough. And that Hellfire song, it's so powerful. And I think Tony Jay pulls it off wonderfully. He's amazing as his character, as Frollo. You know, he doesn't have to yell a lot, but his line delivery is so menacing at points. And I think when I was saying before about the moments where the comedy goes against the drama, not necessarily in a bad way, but as sort of as a balance beam. Now, for me personally, did all the humor work? No, I don't think all the humor works in the movie. I think a lot of it does, but very few of it doesn't. I feel like when the sheep or the goat, he burps a few times, I feel like that's a little, you know, some of the goat humor didn't work for me. Some of Victor's, one of the gargoyles, Victor's humor didn't work for me. It was a little over the top at points, but I feel like overall, I feel like it's a good balance beam. And then you have that song, probably my least favorite part of the movie is A Guy Like You. I don't think the song is great. I think it's okay. I think it's passable, but it's definitely the low point of the film for me. I can't, you know, acknowledge the movie has flaws. I don't think it's a perfect movie. Like I said, I think that there's other Disney animated movies that are better. But this, for me, it's just my favorite because of all the things that I'm mentioning. Frollo, I love that character. I love the villain. Quasimodo, I love his story. I love his arc. You know, kind of how he has to find the strength to overcome how he's been living throughout his whole entire life, to have that battle at the end of the movie, which I feel like, again, it's the best Disney villain death ever. You can't top it. You know, that battle on the bell tower, when Frollo, he raises his sword and he says, and I shall smite the wicked, and he shall smite the wicked and plunge them into the fiery pit. And since there's a lot of like religious undertones to this film, it's almost like God says, okay, you got your wish. He's going to smite the wicked and plunge him into the fiery pit, and he literally sends Frollo down to hell. That's a way to think about it. It's dark. It is extremely dark. And if you're watching that as a kid, for me, I was a sick child, I guess. I don't know, but I kept having that on repeat because I just loved it. The rock crumbles underneath him. He holds onto it. The thing roars at him, comes to life and roars at him in a way that's saying, you got your wish, pal. The thing breaks and he goes upside down into the pit. I love how he screams. I love the music that plays. It's iconic for me, and it's so nostalgic for me. And I hope when they do the live-action movie, they're not going to screw that up. I mean, I don't know. How could you change that? Because that's so embedded into my mind. I don't know how they're going to change that. And I hope they don't take Hellfire out of the new movie either. I mean, I could see why they would, because it is a little intense, but it should be. I think it needs to be in the film. It's the highlight of Frollo's character. It's where he turns in the story to complete lustful maniac. And that's really why this movie's my favorite Disney classic. You know, I love the villain. I love the music. Alan Menken's music is phenomenal in this movie. It might be his best score that he's ever made. One of, at least. The songs are great. The Topsy-Turvy song and A Guy Like You, maybe not as great, but the Bells of Notre Dame, Out There, Heaven's Light, Hellfire are great. And God Help the Outcasts, great. So this movie definitely has a lot more positives than negatives. I'll have spent one day out there. It's good stuff. It's great stuff. And with that, I think I'm going to give the movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. Just because, you know, I've watched this movie so many times. I just watched it again to do this review, and I definitely think that this movie, the great, exceedingly outpasses the bad for me. Like I said, I can admit that it's probably not as good as The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, or The Lion King, but I will say that I think this movie's better than Aladdin. Shoot me, but I do think that this is a better movie than Aladdin. But guys, well, first of all, you could comment on this video. Do you love this movie? Do you not like this movie? Are you excited for the live-action movie that's coming out? Please comment in the comment section. Also, you can subscribe to this channel for more reviews coming out. I'll be reviewing Glass tomorrow, so you could highly... I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm going to be seeing it very soon, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Also, guys, I'll be doing some PS4 game playthroughs. Not playthroughs, but just having some fun, going live, playing a bit. I'm going to be playing Spider-Man a little later today. I'm going to be going live around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not going to stream the whole entire game on this channel, but I'll do 3 or 4 videos of me playing Spider-Man. I borrowed it from a friend, so why not? I'm just having some fun with it. Also, I'll be live streaming Kingdom Hearts 3 the Tuesday it comes out. I'm very, very, very excited for that. Been waiting for that for a very long time. I have walkthroughs for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 up on this channel now that you could check out. Also, you can follow me on Patreon if you want to see this channel grow. I will be mainly able to do more Blu-ray unboxings on this channel. If you noticed, I did not do one for Halloween because it is just not something that I am capable of doing right now. We'll leave it at that. So if you want to see me do more things like that, you can consider following me on Patreon. The link is in the description. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description of this video. And you can also follow me on Instagram at KingOfRises131. Guys, that's been it. Thank you very much for watching my review for The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Over and out.
Walt Disney Pictures presents an all-new animated motion picture event. The Hunchback of Notre Dame.